Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of VGU Talks. I'm Don the Expert of Calls from VideoGamesUncovered.com, and let's talk games. And today I'm bringing up something that has been on my mind for a very long period of time with this particular publisher. And I'm just bringing it up now after the fallout that is Mighty No.9. Now, in case some of you guys aren't too sure about what's happened with the game, allow me to fill you in on some of the things that have gone wrong. First things first, the game itself has been delayed constantly throughout. A lot of the fans and backers of the Kickstarter project have been waiting for the chance of this game to be released, and you would think that with all the delays, the game would come out and be very well worked on, bugs be ironed out, maybe a few here or there, but overall be a fully working title. Well, still, there are people that have kickstarted the game and even purchased the game but don't even have access to their copy of the game just yet, which I find completely and utterly ridiculous. After that, people are now pirating Mighty No.9 because they're not able to play the version that they purchased, so they're now pirating it just so that they get a chance to play the game they should already own. That in itself is bad. On top of this, a very bad practice, at least in my opinion, has happened where review copies of Mighty No.9 have been given out to certain review outlets before backers get their copies. Now, of course, us lot here at VideoGamesUncovered.com, yes, we've received review copies of games in the past. Sometimes before general release, sometimes at the same time as general release, sometimes even after general release. It happens, but it gives us a chance to review the game to let you guys know whether it's good, bad, average, you know it. But the difference is those games are published by big name developers or are self-published by indie devs, or are on Steam, and indie devs are pushing it out with other third-party corporations to help get their games out there more. This is completely different. This is a Kickstarter project, backed by that of Deep Silver, published by that of Deep Silver. And before giving the game to people that have put money down throughout the development to assist in the game even being created in the first place, instead of those players, those individuals, gaining access to the game first like they should deserve, reviewers that may not have even put a penny, a dime, whatever currency you're at, into that game, get it first. I think that's ridiculous. As much as reviewers need to obviously play the game to review it and let you know how it is, getting access to the game when people have put money into the project and have not even received their copy of the game, I think is completely and utterly ridiculous. Then we have the problem with DLC. Some people have received DLC codes for the game, and normally there are supposed to be 2 codes. Well, guess what? Some of these codes are just copies of the first one. So you put in the code for the first one of DLC, then you go in to put the code for the second one, it's a complete carbon copy of the first. So you're not even getting 2 individual pieces of DLC, you're just getting 1. How has that been cocked up so royally? I have seen companies deal with DLC code distribution so easily. I didn't even think this was a problem. I've never heard of a game, a company having this problem before. This is outrageous. And of course, what I was saying earlier about the game being delayed, some platform versions of Mighty No.9 are still not finished or even released yet, including the Linux version, the Mac version, and the Xbox 360 version. But maybe it's for the best. Maybe those delays are for the best, because guess what? People that have played the game on Wii U have stated that the Wii U version crashes. I don't know about you guys, I have never heard of a game on Wii U crashing. I've heard of really badly ported over or really badly developed Wii U titles where like FPS fluctuates a little bit, or it's maybe not as good or not as optimized as it could be. But full-on crashing, I have never heard. I have never seen a full-on Wii U crash with a game before. And hearing that that's happening with Mighty No.9 is completely insane. And even then, this is currently unproven. However, I've yet to see any proof that this has happened to any Wii U owners out there. If you are one of these Wii U owners, please let me know. Apparently, Mighty No.9 has completely killed certain people's systems, so that when it crashes, it's not a software crash, it creates a hardware crash, causing the entire Wii U to lock out, meaning the only way to fix it is by going to a third party, getting it sent off, repaired and sent back and hope that works, or work on it yourself and hope you can fix it, or even worse, buy another Wii U. But we don't even end there. There are glitches on the PC version of the game, with graphical hiccups, texture jumping, levels completely disappearing and characters not even rendering properly. The game itself had one of the worst, and I mean worst, trailers ever put out there for a video game inspired by the creator of Mega Man. I have literally seen this trailer so many times to get a grip as to how it was put together, and quite frankly, it is a sham of what this game was going to become. If that trailer was to advertise how awesome this game was, you failed. You treat gamers like we're the 5-year-olds that live in the parents' basement. Well done. And then what happens? On a live stream where people were talking about the state of the game, they were showing off the game, Inafune was there, a representative of Concept was also there alongside of him hosting the live stream. And what does he say on live stream? He comes out saying, it's better than nothing. Mighty No.9 as we have it right now is better than nothing. I can't blame Concept. I can't blame Inafune, at least for the most part, because I personally think this is a problem with Deep Silver. I personally think this is the problem when you decided to team up with Deep Silver to help get your game published, and it was a conflict of ideas yet again. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, a good couple of years ago now, I managed to sit down and talk to the lead designer of Dying Light from Techland. And if you don't know Techland, Techland used to be a part of Deep Silver, and those were the guys that created Dying Light, and before that created Dead Island. Now personally, I quite enjoyed Dead Island, but even then you can play the game and see there was a bit of a conflict of ideas. You didn't know whether they wanted Dead Island to be this serious, gritty, down-to-earth zombie survival experience, or whether they wanted the game to be this colourful, hilarious, joke-filled run of a zombie survival. And even then, in the interview I had with the head designer, I genuinely asked him, was there a conflict of ideas? Was your relationship not the best? And he just openly admitted that we did have a conflict of ideas. They were just not in agreement with what we wanted to do. We wanted to ship out Dying Light with their help. They just didn't want any of it. They wanted to make more Dead Islands and they wanted to make them more comedic. And that's when Techland left Deep Silver. They began to self-develop, self-publish. They got out Dying Light, and to this day, Dying Light is one of my personal favorites and one of the best zombie survival games out there. And it's a complete contrast to the release of Dead Island. And that should show you something. That should show that maybe Deep Silver behind the scenes here is kinda screwing up with Mighty No.9. Maybe the guys at Concept wanted to take more time, but Deep Silver was saying, no, they've waited long enough, get it out there. Get it out, don't patch it, just get it out. And I just don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. It's not proven at this moment in time whether Deep Silver has just deepened its claws into Concept and into Mighty No.9, causing this to happen. But I bet you any money, I bet you this has happened all over again. And I am personally disgusted. I have nothing wrong with publishers jumping on to Kickstarters to help them get big. If anything, that's the Kickstarter dream, isn't it? You get kickstarted, you get crowdfunded, and then as you get crowdfunded, a big name publisher or big name developer comes on board and says, yo, I want to help you guys out. I love what you have and I want to push it. That is the dream. And if you're going to screw up with that dream, you're not helping. You are literally just telling people to not back and not put money down on Kickstarter projects or anything similar. Because if the game's going to turn out like this, it's not good. I'm not saying that every Kickstarter project out there is perfect, I'm not saying everyone out there is bad. There have been some fantastic success stories on Kickstarter, and I will preach them to the heavens. But this is an example of a fantastic Kickstarter project turned absolutely horrendous, and I still blame that of Deep Silver. But even then, as I said earlier, Inafune is not 100% innocent here, because he did, and Concept did also announce that they were working on Red Ash before Mighty No.9 was even finished. And if you don't know what Red Ash was, it's basically the Mega Man Legends game that we've always wanted but we never got also. And they were talking about how they wanted to turn it into a franchise, so it'll be a game, an animated series. If that goes well, maybe an animated movie, who knows. But thinking and coming up with that and starting that Kickstarter and working on that before Mighty No.9 was even finished, before it was even out into the hands of the backers and the gamers alike, was disgusting. Again, I don't know whether I blame Inafune or Deep Silver. Personally, for that matter, I would blame Concept and Inafune. For the matter of Mighty No.9 and the quality it came out with, its bad release schedule, its terrible DLC practices, its reviewers getting the game before the backers, a terrible trailer, glitches, crashes, console killing, overall, it's horrendous. I don't want to talk about Mighty No.9 in this way, but you know what, I just have to. It's one of the most disappointing releases of this year, if not one of the most disappointing releases I have ever seen in gaming history. But ladies and gentlemen, these are my thoughts on this matter. I now want to know what you guys think. Do you think it's Concept or Deep Silver that should be blamed for the quality of Mighty No.9 and its distribution? Do you think Inafune himself is to blame for some of the antics that have gone on? I am genuinely curious. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I have nothing against Concept and the guys over at Deep Silver. I just think something needs to be addressed, and I personally think this needs to be sorted out sooner rather than later, especially with future titles coming out under the Deep Silver brand. It needs to be sorted out. Until next time, guys, I will see you on the other side for another edition of VGU Talks.